Hey friends, we're back with a new episode of my Best Vintage Life podcast. I'm Bridget Morawski, and this is my co-host,
Art!
Bazarkanian.
Yeah, I always forget my last name.
Yeah, I don't know how, but you do.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. I'm going to do our normal notes, our normal intro notes, make them as quick as I possibly can. Email admin@mybestvintagelifepodcast.com. That's admin@mybestvintagelifepodcast.com. Social media, you can find us at My Best Vintage Life Podcast via Instagram and Pinterest. We have a website. It's www.mybestvintagelifepodcast.com. You can sign up for our monthly Vintage for Business newsletter there. It comes out once a month. We also have a Google Voice line, 559-365-6743. That's 559-365-6743.
There's been some interesting messages left on that. I love listening to those. They crack me up.
Yeah, I have to get around to putting them together on a file.
Yeah.
And playing them.
Some great ideas.
Yes. You threw me off. Is that your phone? Rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcast app and also on Podchaser. Check Podchaser out if you are looking for a cool place to store all your favorite podcast episodes or just shows in general. You can make playlists. It's really cool, and it's a great place to rate and review. Rating and reviewing the podcast is a free way, on your end at least, a free way to support the show. It just takes a little bit of your time, and it really makes the show more visible for a larger audience, and we want to continue to grow the show.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Although we haven't had a good review in a while.
Well, we've never had a bad review.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
we have.
That person that complained about me eating or always being hungry.
Yeah. Well, you record before lunch or around lunch.
Suck a bag of you-know-what. Anyways, obsession at the moment. Okay, I said my obsession at the moment is the Skinwalker Ranch show.
You know what mine's is?
What?
Marisa.
Oh, Marisa.
Yeah.
I don't think Marisa is probably going to fly with most people that listen to my podcast.
Oh, it should. It's hilarious. Lighten up. It's a great, funny spoof.
It's a parody that was made a long time ago before woke culture became a thing. And once upon a time, everyone loved this character, from Beyonce to J-Lo to whoever. Nowadays, I feel like if anybody new finds it, they'll probably have a meltdown. But I think it's hilarious. I don't think there's any malintent meant by it. It's super funny. The comedian's name is Giannis Pappas. He's Greek. He lives in New York. And he plays a character named
You
Marisa.
know what's going to happen with woke culture?
What?
It's going to be like the Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't let me finish
Extinct.
about the Skinwalker Ranch.
Okay, go ahead with Skinwalker Ranch.
Well, no, the Skinwalker Ranch is located in northeastern Utah. It is a hotbed of paranormal activity, including unidentified aerial phenomenon, the new name for UFO, a UAP, also poltergeist activity, trickster activity. The land was once inhabited by the Utes.
And the Navajo.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So lots of weird stuff going on there. The show is on History Channel. It's a little cheesy. I don't really watch any reality TV except for this. And Art watches it as well. And
I do like it.
We make fun of a lot of the characters on the show, especially this guy named Dragon, because he always has like the worst resting bitch face.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
he's a crack-up.
You were talking about the Anunnaki, the extinct people.
Yes. That's going to be woke culture.
It's going to become extinct.
Oh, absolutely.
I think at some point in time, it's like,
come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, there's so many people out there just like living to censor and pick on people and every little thing they've ever done. And it's like, what are you actually doing for causes, you know?
Yeah.
Like ask them to volunteer. I'd like to see, like, oh, interesting. You can spout off all you want online, but yet you won't go and actually put some action behind your words. That's how I feel about a lot of these people. And it's not that, you know, I don't think that there are issues out there that people deserve to be angry or frustrated about, but like
anger doesn't do anything.
Talking in circles the way some of these people do, it's just like, God, what are you ever going to change? And I can't talk because I don't volunteer and I don't do a lot to help issues. But at the same time, I'm not pretending like I do. right? I'm not
Right.
going to pretend like I'm some pious saint.
Oh,
That's
no.
perfect.
No.
Is that what
Unless
are it
saints
called?
are sailors.
Yeah, basically. So anyways, Skinwalker Ranch. If you like creepy stuff, check it out. All right, I'll come back to the patron stuff halfway through about ish.
Well, I'm glad you've adopted one of my suggestions.
Yeah.
Of the
I
47,
always
I
get
have
worried
one.
that I'm gonna forget.
You won't forget.
I made these nice and big for your old eyes. These
I know you're
notes.
not talking to me. I know you're talking to your blind dog.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about basically, I've been getting a ton of wholesale FAQs from people. I put this in an order, kind of like a chronological order of like when you would first reach out to us all the way to the end of your shopping visit. And there's quite a few questions. We're kind of going to just do them like rapid fire, not going to spend a ton of time on each question. And some of these I just receive frequently. Some of them I get from everyone. Some of them I only ever heard like once or twice. So it's a mixed bag of FAQs. So the first one,
Are these for me to answer? Or are
they're
these
for both of us.
Oh, okay.
So you can start off, and if I feel like there's anything to chime in with, I will.
What's the chance of that?
It's your warehouse. Okay. Do I need a resale license if I pay you in cash, Art Bazarkanian?
Yes, you need a resale license if you are in any sort of business in this state or anywhere you're at. You should have it regardless. If you're doing flea markets, you're doing anything, you need one. And regardless of what you pay, you need to have a license.
Okay.
Cash, credit
Yeah.
card, it doesn't matter. That's
So,
just part of
cash-
having your own business. You need to have it.
Cash payments are great, but that doesn't change the fact that when you come here, we either need, like, beforehand, you can send us a picture, you can send us a scan, like a scanned in copy of your license, and you can email it over, whatever you're most technologically comfortable with. But yeah, it's like,
It should be a habit just to have it on your phone so that you can, if you come across a deal or you stop to shop someplace,
Yeah.
that way you don't have to pay the tax.
yep. Is that good enough?
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. Why do you have a minimum?
Minimum is so a lot of times when people aren't here, we're putting orders together. And orders, online orders, email orders, and orders that we normally deal with.
Busy.
And we're quite busy with that. And so when we have clients, I like to give them, in warehouse clients, I like to give them my full attention and help them kind of navigate. So unfortunately, in the past, we've had some people who've really, I want to say, pretty much wasted an entire day for me on numerous occasions. And by the end of the day, they were spending like a couple of $100. And that just unfortunately doesn't cut it, because most of the times, like for example, today, I've spent 4 hours putting orders together, and it's quadruple to 5 times what our minimum is. So I think it's a very fair, low minimum. And it's just to make sure the people that come here are serious and aren't wasting their time and my time.
Yeah. Art's time is money. That's the
So
way
is
I look
yours.
at it. And so is
But,
mine, but
yeah.
especially yours.
Yeah, and I
And
never
we've
had a
people
minimum
come
until
here until I
recently.
came.
Oh, yeah, because it was just absurd.
I mean, and also like we had a lot of people making big messes. We had people asking us like 1,001 questions, and then they spent, like $501. It's a lot. It's a lot to pull us away from our other jobs, and that does not mean that you're not important to us as a client, but we have to, at some point in time, you have to put a value on your worth, which is why our minimum is $1,000. That was the next question, because I have had someone rudely ask me that one time. Like, I don't understand why anybody would ask that.
Especially, I think you need to understand that the scope of our business.
Sorry, I accidentally stopped recording. You were saying about the scope of our business?
Yeah, it's on a large scale. I mean, we work with companies that are multi-million-dollar companies, Fortune 500 companies, and then we also work with shop owners and boutiques. So you should kind of have an idea of what it is, and you have the capability to spend that. And if you don't, then I don't think we're the right place for you. Not that what you're doing is wrong or not significant to you, but there's other lower tier places like fleas, thrift stores, yard sales, and possibly other warehouses that aren't as large or busy.
Yeah, But I mean, good luck. Because there are people charging people just to get in these days.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple places in LA, it's $1,000 a head, regardless of if you're with the same company or not.
And we've had people ask, oh, if I bring someone, can we combine? And it's like, no, like this isn't, I mean, you want to come and bring 3 people and each spend,
Yeah, that just makes it more like personal shopping.
Yeah, that's not okay. This is not a mall. This is not a store. We're a wholesaler.
Right.
And we're not set up for, people's personal shopping excursions. You can go do that with your friends at a thrift store or somewhere else. I had someone reach out to me recently, tell me that, they're looking for a pair of pants or a jacket they don't have. That's nice, but sorry, that does not interest me.
No, that's...
You
go
can
to the
do
mall.
That. Our LA warehouse is set up a little bit differently. It's more.
Not for long, so take advantage of it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
August 1st, it's changing to only going to be open 3 days a week, and that's it. And appointment only.
Well, good. Okay. I take that back then. But I was just saying previously and currently it is set up more to be acceptable, like to go in there and buy 1 or 2 things, and maybe it's like
at a
1
premium.
or 2 expensive things. But we just don't have time for that. And, I there's only so many ways for me to be nice about it. I've been quite firm with people lately, probably bordering on a little bit bitchy, but it's just like, I don't know what to tell you. This is not a store.
Well, I think in all relationships, whether it's personal, business, or anything, it's nice to have boundaries and rules because then there's no...
Oh, boundaries are?
Boundaries, yes.
Wow.
See,
Who
I
taught
listen to you.
those?
You.
Okay, what is your preferred payment method?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
I like the coin.
The coin.
No, we accept... I like Venmo. It seems like it's the fastest, easiest. Cash is fine. Credit cards are fine. It's just show up with at least a form of payment that will cover. I've had someone show up here
and this blows my mind.
And had no idea how to pay, which I'm like, how are you an adult? I mean, when you go grab a pizza, do you say, I ordered the pizza, but I just don't know how to pay? Like, you got to pay. Figure a way. Ooh, that rhymed.
It did rhyme. But I was just going to say, if you're planning on coming here and you have, say, like your budget's $3,000, it would be really lovely if you planned on bringing half cash or maybe 30% cash. Like, because we have people that come and spend these large amounts of money and then Art looks at them and he's like, where's your cash? Oh, we didn't bring any. Because when we process, as many of you know, there are steep fees. And when the money goes up, the fee goes up in terms of processing your credit card. So if you can bring any kind of cash, it's really appreciated. And I've always said that. That's something most people know. They just tend to forget and quote.
See, I usually don't do that for our domestic clients just because I know people in the United States really don't like to carry cash. But our Japanese clients,
people in the United States, a lot of people are cash poor and they're living off of credit.
Not so much that. I think it's just the fact that it's, a little bit more scary. They're not used to it. It's ATM and debit. I think it's a cultural thing.
What days are you open and what hours? So recently,
for appointments or just open in general?
For appointments.
For appointments, Monday through Thursday for appointments, and 9 to 4. And then if somebody has happened to stay a night, then we've stayed till 5 if we've had to.
Yeah. And then Friday we're only accepting like hyper local appointments. So if you're a Fresno and it takes you 10 minutes to get here, we're fine with you coming in on a Friday. But what's happened in the past is people show up on a Friday at like noon and want to stay until 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and I'm just not okay with that anymore. And that's definitely
it's just a tough day between
a recent boundary reset.
Yeah, all the last minute shipping we have to do on Friday, the running payroll, securing the premises for the weekend.
Yeah,
so setting the dogs loose.
Yeah, the attack. We have new attack dogs.
Yeah. Randy and Mike. They're foster dogs.
That's a joke, guys. It's an inside joke. So yeah, no more, like if you're coming from out of town, no more Friday appointments, just Monday through Thursday. And if that's really an issue for you,
well, if you come Thursday night and you happen to stay Friday,
some people
that's
do
fine.
that. They want to stay.
Then they leave at noon or 1.
Yeah, if you're going to leave in the morning, that's okay. But like if your goal is to get here on Friday, we'd rather you just schedule for another day.
Yeah.
Will I see the entire warehouse in one day?
Not very likely in a productive way. I mean, yes, you could walk through the warehouse, obviously.
Right.
But
in a meaningful way?
No. It takes a couple of days at best. And we've even had clients come repeatedly, probably 6-7 times, and never see the second section. And then she finally ventured over there and was like, "Oh my God, I can't do this. I'll save it for another time." So, so my suggestion is, if you're coming from far away, anything more than 3 hours, you should stay a night. And there's some decent places in Fresno, unfortunately not too close to the warehouse, like 15, 20 minutes away, and get a hotel.
We do not have a boutique hotel.
Yeah.
So, and if someone doesn't recognize that term, that's like a cutesy hotel, like the Ace or, all these like hipstery hotels that are popping up all over the country. No, that does not exist in Fresno, unfortunately. There's one in Bakersfield and one in Visalia, but not one in Fresno. So
we have a couple of safe places, like one near Whole
Fresno,
Foods.
Your main concern with a hotel in Fresno should be a safe area, and that's always something you can discuss with us, because Fresno is... It's not a safe city. Just be perfectly honest with you. There's a lot of crime here, a lot of dangerous, serious crime here, and we want you to be safe. And I know,
for an extra $10 or $20, be safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask us.
We'll give you our opinion. I mean, even if you want to stay in a part of town that's nowhere near the warehouse, I'd rather you do that and have to drive a little bit than stay anywhere close to the warehouse, because the surrounding area is not great, especially at night.
Yeah, it's industrial, so.
Right. Will you give me a tour if I come to the warehouse?
What I usually do is welcome. Here's the refrigerator. This is where you will find water. And here's where the restroom is. And then I kind of get an idea of what it is. I say, is there something specific you're looking for? And then I start with that. And then I start showing what we have in bins, what we have on the racks, and show them things. Some people come with a list, and I tell them. I'm going
to get to that.
And I tell them, okay, well, let's work through the list in a meaningful way. Other people are like, they get overwhelmed and they get lost because they see a category that, they need, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I bring friends and or employees?
Of course you could bring your employees, but what I like is when someone asks, don't show up here with 6 people when you said, it's just going to be me and my employee and there's...
Well, don't show up with 6 people, period, because these days especially like during COVID times, it was like, we really don't want more than like a group of 3 people here if possible. It's better for us, like in terms of making sure everyone's getting equal attention. It's better for us in terms of wrapping up at the end of the day. We've had people show up lately with like a few big groups, and I'm just, I give Art like the what the fuck face, so.
I'm so used to it. I mean, we've had times where we've had 12, 13 different people at our warehouse. Yeah, they made
a disaster of the place.
I'm not talking about disaster. I'm talking about checking out. You're acting like it's a big deal to check people out, and it's not.
I mean, it is when you have to run like 12 credit cards,
In the old days, it wasn't credit cards. It was cash.
Well, that would be easier in my opinion. But, it's just, we don't want to deter you from bringing people, but please just ask, is it okay if I bring my friend? Is it okay if I bring my assistant? Is it okay if I bring this person? Because that is
anything that helps you accomplish your goal of getting the things you need. Absolutely.
And we love our clients, employees just as much as we love our clients and their friends, Oh, Choopy. Oh, big yawn. Art's holding Chalupa. Ooh, bad breath. Oh, well, what a perfect segue. Can I bring my pet?
No. Unfortunately, due to our insurance, we can't have animals here unless they're like real service dogs, not emotional support. Because if you need emotional support, I'll hold your hand and walk you through the warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a dog pen outside if you bring your dog. It's a pretty decent sized run, and it's nice out here. But for the most part, it's just too hot to bring a dog anyways, even if there wasn't the insurance issue. But if you are really in a pinch and you are okay with your dog being in like a large size kennel outside that's like partially covered.
Or how about we've got a couple of clients who have those transit vans.
Yeah, they
and
just
they
leave their
just
dogs
hang
in the
out
van
there. Yeah,
and they have the windows down. And like on a fall day, anywhere from like, I'd say a cool
September.
day in October until like April, May, you'd be fine doing that. But we just can't have them up on the floor. It's, especially if it's an unfamiliar dog and they can't be off a leash. Like if someone got bit or hurt, then that's a liability for Art. And I mean, you said somebody came once and their dog shit and they didn't pick it up like a long time ago.
And I'm talking about a big company.
Ugh.
And because of that,
I
I've
would
asked
have
them.
mailed the shit to them.
Oh, I know you would have. I just politely said, sorry.
Don't come back.
Don't come back.
Yeah. So a long answer to a short question is no. We would really rather if you did not bring your pets.
But there are exceptions, like you mentioned.
Same thing with children. This really is not a great place for kids to hang out. Makes me nervous. I don't know. I know your kids are different because they were here growing up, but there are a lot of aloof parents out there, and I've seen kids.
Yeah, it's not a safe place.
Yeah,
There's a lot of steel, boxes,
sharp edges,
nails, you name it.
Can I ask questions prior to my visit? And is it possible to make a plan for myself prior to my visit?
Yeah, that's smart. Your plan should really consist of what you're looking for, what your budget is, and are you buying for season, off season? A lot of people just think, okay, well, when I see it, I'll know what it is. And that's when you get overwhelmed. It's like you should know, okay, I'm going to spend $2,000. I want to put about $500 towards t-shirts, about maybe $500-600 towards denim, maybe a couple hundred towards sweatshirts. When you have a game plan like that, it'll help you move through the warehouse so much more efficiently. And I love watching people who do that, because you see the flow and you're like, wow, you are efficient. And, and when you got the dilly diddlers who are in a box of sweatshirts for 3 hours and they come out with like hundreds of sweatshirts, but then they're like, I don't know if I need all this. Well, you don't,
Yeah, it's pretty easy to tell who's come with a plan and who hasn't.
Yeah, and that's why I like to help those people. Like, okay, do you really need 100 sweatshirts right now? No. Okay, well, let's get you on. What else is it that you sell? Well, I like t-shirts. Okay, let's go look at some t-shirts and let's put some of this stuff back.
Yeah. Oh God. This one I did as a little tongue in cheek. What should I wear to the warehouse?
Armor.
Yeah, we've had some
interesting outfits, men and ladies.
Scantily clad. The
Yeah.
least amount of clothing I've ever seen worn in the warehouse. And it wasn't even that hot. And if you're confident in your body, you do you. But I will warn you of this. My legs get more scratched up in the warehouse in the summer than ever because I wear shorts. So if your abdomen and your breasts are exposed or your chest is exposed, there's a lot of cardboard. We have wood bins. If you follow on Instagram, you've seen those wood bins. They have like metal around them. There's just metal in general. If you're bending over, it's not going to feel great if your tummy or your tatas get scratched up. So, yeah.
I agree.
It's kind of an awkward
it's also
conversation to have, but
yeah, the open toe shoes like sandals.
Yeah, no.
That's like
we really, really want you to wear closed toe shoes. I wear like in the summertime, I have like these lightweight black socks, and I wear lightweight Novesta high top shoes. But anything that's breathable, it's just sandals.
I wear steel toe sneakers.
Yeah, Art changes his shoes every morning. I see him do it. It's just, I get that it gets hot here and some people are ultra confident in their bodies, but I just don't think it's the smartest choice. Just for risk of getting a cut or a bruise or scrape.
Just safety.
Yeah. So, should I pack a lunch and should I bring some water?
I would say bring a container for water, since we have those dispensers, we have, sparkling water here as
Yeah.
well.
A lot of
And
people take a
food.
sip of their water, put it down, and there's 3 people, and they're like, "Is this your water? Is that?" And it's just like, just bring your own container that oh yeah, I drink out of an orange water bottle every day. Then bring that with you, and then you don't have to worry about
Yeah,
that.
we can refill it.
Yeah, we
And
have
then in
hot
terms of
water,
food,
cold water.
the way I look at it is you know what you like, and it's kind of nice to have it with you because you don't waste time waiting for food to get to you.
I would say like a lot of people have started packing their own lunches. If you have specific dietary restrictions, like you're vegan or you need gluten-free or you can't eat X, Y, and Z thing, I highly recommend bringing your own food or letting us know in advance, because if you get here and you're telling me that you're hungry and that you have to do all this stuff in terms of diet, like, oh, maybe your assistant's vegan and you can't eat this, and it's like, it puts a lot of pressure on me to throw together a lunch for you guys really quick. And not only that, but there's not a lot of options near the warehouse, and it takes a long time for food to be delivered. So
Yeah.
I really just recommend bring a cooler, and we have an upstairs fridge that's pretty much always empty. You can just throw it right in the fridge, and there's a picnic table up there. You can sit downstairs and eat whatever you want. It's just, I think it makes things easier for you. And like Art said, you won't have to sit around and wait for food either if it's ready to be eaten.
Yeah, it's better use of your time.
And if you fly in or you drive in and you don't have food, there are tons of grocery stores. If there's like a mini fridge in your hotel, you can definitely buy some stuff and put it in there and then bring it as well. So lots of options. But I do recommend bringing a water bottle and staying hydrated here as much as possible. What's the best way to shop the warehouse?
With a shopping cart.
Do you recommend people start at the racks, or do they start at another area? What do you think?
I think it all depends on what they need. Now, if they like to look and, I just want to see what you have, and then I say then definitely do the racks, because everything else we have is more, okay, this thing is all starter jackets. This is all army jackets. This is all very much separated by category. Whereas the racks, it's pretty much everything in a nutshell that we have in bins. So it's a good way of, kind of getting a taste before you go for the whole buffet.
Yeah, I mean, there are some like bigger boxes where we have mixes of things, but the racks are a quick and easy way to shop, especially if you're coming from out of town and you're limited on time.
Yeah, and the best part is I just saw these hunting jackets, but I only saw 4 or 5 of them. They're really cool. Do you have any more?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, here's a box of hunting jackets.
Sometimes when we're grading, we pick out like the best few pieces and hang those, but yet there's like more general pieces in boxes. So that's always a good question to ask, do you have more of this? What if I have a question during my shopping trip, but I can't find you guys?
Text me.
Yeah. Text Art, text me. If you have a note app on your phone, make a list of notes, and then we can get together maybe when you're ready to eat lunch, or you're kind of like ready to transition to a different point of shopping, maybe a different grouping, and we can say, okay, here's the answers to your questions.
Yeah, I never mind questions, honestly. It makes better use of your time and my time.
Yeah.
Because at the end, there's no like misconceptions. Oh my, I should have asked.
I think it's easier to like kind of group them together, and ask in like chunks than it is like, hey, Art, bop, 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 bop. Hey, Art, bop, 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 bop,
Wait a minute. The way you did that sounded familiar.
Did it?
Yeah, I'm starting to twitch. Who does that to me? Oh, it's Bridget.
Is it?
Yeah. Why don't you group those questions together?
No, I don't do that.
Oh, my God.
I try so hard not to bother you.
It's not a bother, but it's just cute the way you said it. Hey, Art. I'm like, ah.
What if I decide prior to invoicing that I don't want something? Like I'm pushing my cart around and I say, you know what? I just don't really want this sweater. What do I do with it?
Well, you should take it back to where you found it, which would be very much appreciated and helpful. But I always say this. Don't fill up your cart with maybes. Fill up your cart with 90 to 99% sure items. Decide when you're at that box, bin, or at the rack, like, yeah, I'm pretty good with this. I really like this. And let's say you find something that's exactly the same category, the same everything, but it happens to be a better one. I get that. You flip it out. But if you could put it back where you found it, much appreciated.
Yeah, the putback thing was something I had never seen before I started working here. Like on my buying trips at my old job, we only took what we wanted. We never put anything
Oh,
back.
I'm the same way. I never put
Yeah,
anything back.
it's like it was kind of mind numbing. Like when I first started, how many putbacks some people had. I was like, holy crap! Like
Well,
indecisive much?
a lot of it has to do with the competitive nature of where those people, there's a handful of them because what happens is there's other people shopping, so they feel like they have to get it off the floor so no one else gets it while they make up their mind.
I
So
guess
unfortunately
I'm not a
here,
competitive person.
well, no, you don't understand. Some of the places where these people go,
Yeah.
there's 20, 30 people shopping.
Right.
So if you
like
don't,
your brothers.
yeah, or other rag houses.
Yeah.
So they grab it and they put it in their cart while they're deciding. And then at the very end, they weed it out. So they just didn't want someone else to take it while they were making up their mind. Where here, I don't schedule 2 companies or 3 companies or 4 like other places do. I like to have, depending on once I get to know the person and what they're looking for and what their capacity to buy is.
It's like one group a day.
I try to do it that way.
I mean, honestly, like that's another thing when it comes to scheduling. Like if I tell you, oh, we're booked up this week, it's not that we don't want you to come, but like we've been trying to keep it to one group of people a day, unless we know that like, oh, this person only comes and spends half a day, so maybe we'll do 2 groups of people. But it's
I don't like to make people feel like they have to buy
or
anything. That's why I don't like to make people feel anxious. I don't like them to feel like, oh, if I don't get it, what if these people get it? What are they looking for? That anxiety is the last thing you need when you're trying to make good decisions.
We especially space out our Japanese clients
because
they are so paranoid.
They are paranoid. They haven't figured it out.
They're so paranoid. Like when they see another person walk in, they're just like, oh my God, it's like,
Well, they think everyone buys the
doom.
same thing.
I know. Like I said, I guess I'm just
you're
not
not used to
person. I don't know. How do you invoice? What is the invoicing process like? So let's say I've done shopping. I've brought you my carts filled up with goodies. So what do you do now?
I'll go through each piece and I'll put them into price categories or price buckets, as you say.
No, don't say
buckets. Not buckets as in Home Depot buckets, but price tiers.
Yeah. We have had people think that we're talking about we're actually putting your clothes in buckets.
And then we charge you by that bucket.
No, a bucket is just a number.
Yes.
Group.
So depending on what it is, like, whether it's, so we start, depending on what you got, bandanas usually are the cheapest thing. And it goes up to whatever the last item is. Like, this is your $5 grade, $10, $8, $20. And then there'll be certain amounts. So, all right, mix. But let's say you picked 40 Levi's pants. Well, I'll invoice that separately because it's all this category.
Line a name.
Yeah, I'll give that line a name.
Whereas, like, we very frequently do lines on an invoice that are just called mix. We don't do an individually lined invoice. Like Art said, like you have to have a decent amount of quantity in something for us to give it its own line on an invoice. And usually we typically do that for Levi's.
Certain military jackets, Stan Rays.
And a lot of times that is for us as well, for our record keeping. Like if Art knows someone's coming and he's like, oh, I can't remember what I charged them for this, I'll look it up. That way we have a reference point. Because sometimes people don't remember and they want to argue with us. And it's like, no, we have your invoice here. This is what it says.
Yeah, that's why I got B on it.
Yeah. What if after hearing the prices, the price groupings, I want to put some things back?
Yeah, that's happened, and I get that. So let's say if you're a first-time shopper, what I try to do is get to you probably like a half hour to hour into your shopping and go over pricing with what you've already picked so you kind of know what to expect because nobody likes surprises. You want it to be as successful for you and for me as well. You come here, you spend money, you shop, you get the things you need, and then you're able to make money on it. It's a win for you and it's a win for me because I know you'll be back. Now, after the second time, you've pretty much got an idea of what the pricing is. And there might be something that's like, oh, you grabbed this jacket, but you didn't realize it was a 1940s jacket as opposed to just a cool denim jacket. Well, this jacket's $200, and you were thinking it's a normal $50 jacket. No problem. I put it back.
Yeah.
But when you weed out, you should kind of have an idea. But at the end, when you see prices, I don't want anybody ever to feel obligated to buy anything just because it's already in their cart. You got to.
I'd say like an ideal amount of like, we call them putbacks would be like how many pieces?
depends how many pieces you started with. But
Right.
10 pieces doesn't sound like a lot, but if you brought 20 pieces in your cart, you're putting half of it back. I go by percentage.
Yeah.
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 The amount of time you have to put back. It shouldn't take me more than 5 to 10 minutes
And
to
it
put
has
back.
taken Art and I, like, after some people leave or like the next day, because we just don't feel like doing it that like afternoon. Like, it's taken me 30 minutes to an hour to put back stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Probably
Like if
even
the
longer
stuff's on
for you.
hangers,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier. But
And
a lot of
and
people
if you leave
take
your stuff
it.
on hangers.
Yeah, some people take it off even though they're not buying it. I'm like, no, leave it with the hanger so we know where it goes.
Yeah, because our hanger section, you know.
We have over 100 rolling racks.
Yeah. So.
And plus all the pipe racking.
Excuse me. One thing worth, I think, also calling out, and I've mentioned this before, but like, it's not good to come here thinking like we're a thrift store and you're getting thrift store pricing, maybe on some items, but you know, I have seen the look on some people's face, especially like the friends that, you know, like we're trying to like stop that from happening, like friends that come with someone and the look on their face, like when you tell them how much the price categories are, it looks like they like shit themselves. You know what I mean? They're like, what? These are all $20? You know, it's like they have that thrift store thrifting pricing mentality. And like the reality is most of the warehouse is highly curated. We've spent a lot of time making it easy for you to shop. And yeah, it might look like a little messy when you're here, but Art literally knows where everything is. I've spent almost 5 years now picking special pieces, putting them on hangers, washing them, making it easy for you to shop. So once again, like our time is, we have to put a value on our time, and that's why things aren't, you know, dirt cheap here.
Yeah. I think they're priced fair.
I think it's very
based
fair
on
pricing.
What I know what people sell for. It's like sometimes I think some of our some people, not too many of them, have unrealistic expectations in terms of their markup. And with cool and rare pieces, your markup shouldn't be, you know, trying to meet that margin of IMU 75 or 80%. Now, sometimes it's just you're cool with 50 because you have a cool piece and you turn it. You doubled your money. That should be good enough. It shouldn't have to be triple or quadruple everything you buy.
Yeah, you can't expect to hit your markup percentage with every single item. Like
No.
sometimes you'll make up for it with like a higher, you know, you'll have a higher margin. And sometimes it's going to be lower, and that'll even itself out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then plus having a cool piece is nice to have because it attracts attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can I bring my own bags to shop?
Yeah.
How do you package my goods when I'm done?
Packaging the goods.
Yeah, package my goods.
Well, very good. All right. Sorry. Well, some people do bring their bags. I use bags here. Big garbage bags.
I call them the serial killer bag because
we were gifted those.
Well, they're very sturdy.
By
They're
clients.
black.
Yep.
And
they hold quite a bit.
They hold a lot, and people bring them back quite a few times and reuse them. So if you have the patience to store them somewhere and the memory to remember to bring them with you, great.
IKEA bags are good.
IKEA bags are good. You know, I mean, if you're buying a lot, you're going to have to bring a lot, or you know, we just won't be able to do that much with them eventually. But we do provide bags, but if you'd like to bring your own just to start, you know, if that's something that's important to you, being more eco-conscious, I totally get it.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people bring bags and it's nowhere near enough for.
And it's fine. We have plenty, but if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Oh,
and then sometimes.
Shit, I forgot the patron stuff.
No. And sometimes we've had it to where everything didn't fit in someone's car. And we have such unbelievable shipping rates that we just shipped it. That was my next
question. Can I ship if it doesn't fit in my vehicle?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, we have amazing rates. Like there's three Japanese clients.
Japanese are different because they get like the international rate.
Yeah,
but
even to San Francisco, our Bay Area clients, we ship quite a bit. Be prepared
to pay like anywhere from, depending where you are, like $25 to $50 a box in the U.S.
Yeah,
basically
20 to 50. You're right.
Yeah, so if that's going to make your life easier, you know, you just have to take that money and add it in across all your goods. So you have like what we would call in my old days as a buyer, a load. And a load is just something that goes into your landed costs. So you would add in shipping. So if you're, forget it.
No.
You know what I mean.
Yes,
it's
2 boxes.
It's just added into your cost of goods.
Right.
Okay, time for patron talk. Tiffany we talked about Tiffany last week. She did not get to ask a burning question, so I asked her for one this morning if she had one. And she wants to know, what are your warehouse/business plans for the next 10 years, and are your kids interested in taking over the warehouse?
Ooh, Tiff, that's a good one. I am not pushing them into it in any way. My oldest is interested in T-shirts and street fashion right now.
I don't foresee either one of them being interested in it.
Was that question to you or me?
No, I'm just saying, like, based off of what I know about them, I don't think
They're
so.
not.
Yeah.
They're not.
No.
And I don't want them to do it, honestly. I'd like them to find their own way, and if this brings them back to this way, that's fine. But I do want them to be able to use their minds and have their own businesses, whatever that is. I don't want them to work for anybody.
They need to start working.
Right.
Too much soccer, not enough work.
Yeah.
I started working when I was 13.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that same story. I don't know.
No, yeah, you haven't.
What, at Winky's?
No.
And then the pizza place?
Winky's was a pizza place. And now I was an altar girl, and I served
You got
funerals
paid?
and weddings. I got paid bank. I started a savings
My
account.
kids would not be allowed in a church.
No. They're little angels.
Yeah.
Anyways, I made a lot of money that summer.
So the plans for the next 10 years, me and my brother have been talking about it. The goal is to sell it all and get back into Beanie Babies. No, I literally have about 100 Beanie Babies. I found them again,
and
I've put them individually in like little caskets.
My name is Bridget Morawski, and I'm the creative director for Baz's Beanie Babies.
Yeah, right. We're gonna be making little Beanie Baby outfits, dressing them all up.
Remade, recycled Beanie Baby clothes.
Right. You know, I haven't looked at it into the 10-year, but I know I'm gonna be buying and selling something. You know, that's kind of the nature of Baz Brothers Unlimited. It wasn't Baz Brothers Vintage. It was Baz Brothers Unlimited because we were buying and selling everything from computer parts to books to shoes to tequila. You name it, we sold it. Yeah, parachutes, trains, military trucks. So, you know, when you have space and you love to buy and then you like to sell, so it's unlimited. I'd love to sell half the stuff I have and start buying other stuff, just, you know, for the excitement.
Just give me a heads up so I can.
Oh no, you're going to be our lumber lady. Lumber lady.
Lumber.
Yeah, for wood.
Oh Christ, nope.
You don't like old wood? What? Reclaimed wood? Good sturdy oak?
Oh, I love some good wood. All right.
Old
I feel
wood.
like you sufficiently answered Tiff's question.
Yes.
Okay. And I wanted to give a shout out to our new patron. Her name is Bronwyn Merch. Her Instagram is at mothership.vintage, appropriate for my Skinwalker
I really like
theme.
that, mothership.
Yeah. Come
Look
get
out
me.
below.
Take me away. Okay.
Look out below. Here comes the mothership.
I don't have a burning question from her at the moment, which is fine. You can always come up with one later. But check out Bron. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I've never heard of that name ever.
It's Irish.
Very nice. Bronwyn. Check out her Instagram at mothership.vintage. And if you would like to become a patron, you can do so at patron.podbean.com/mybestvintagelifepodcast. And you can either pledge $2, $5, or $20 a month. Most people are doing the $5 price point right now, and that gets you 2 bonus minisodes a month, a personal and or business shout out, and a burning question for Art on the podcast. And next week's minisode, Art's going to be on, and he's going to talk a little bit about a cool find he had last weekend. Want to give a little teaser?
It was in an old barn.
Yeah, some old wood.
Old wood.
Local?
Local.
Cool.
Lots of denim, all from the 1940s and 50s.
Talking like you're on a sex line.
Hi.
Christ.
I think it's that coconut got stuck back there.
Oh, God. Art's mom made us cookies. She's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, next week's mini-sode, Art's going to talk about a local barn find, some fun vintage he found. So if you are interested in that, pledge now. It's $5 a month, and you can cancel anytime right now. We have quite a few bonus episodes.
Yeah, it was
already.
116 pieces. I counted.
116 pieces.
That made the wash.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you want to do the $20 level, that gets you all the $5 benefits, but you also get a 30-minute mentor call with me and sometimes Art. He'll jump on them occasionally once a month, and people are really liking that. So that's an option. Really great for business owners, I'd say more so than vintage enthusiasts. And thank you to all our patrons for your support. We really appreciate it. We are, I think, just over 50% of my new goal of $150 a month. So we're
That's
getting
excellent.
there. I wanted to hit 150 so I could buy my new microphone. Sorry, your chair has to wait.
That's fine. I like this one.
Okay. And then if you're interested, I did start a Substack blog called The Girl in the Awkward Outfit. You can go there and subscribe. The Girl in the Awkward Outfit. I'm going to be writing
Am
a
I
new
the girl in the
post.
awkward outfit?
No, I am.
You are.
Yeah,
Oh.
my new post is going to be called Catholic School Uniform Suppression equals Fashion Obsession.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking a little bit
Man.
about my journey through Catholic school and why I think it's made me
I don't know if that should be like a t-shirt or a bumper sticker.
Yeah, well, that's my next post. So if you're interested, check it out. The Girl in the Awkward Outfit at Substack.
That could be Marisa too.
It could be Marisa, very rigorous.
Yes.
Okay, anyways. In the meantime, my friends, stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, be
Wait,
kind.
I had one more thing to
Oh,
say.
you did? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Don't be basic.
Oh, and don't be basic.
Bye.
Bye.